So you have your Silhouette Studio open, pick your words, spell them right. Okay. Center them. It's easier to see, fill it in so that you can see what's going on there. I weld them together just because it doesn't really matter, I guess, if I'm doing an offset like I'm going to do, but anyway, every time I do a font before I cut it, I weld it together so that it cuts a little bit cleaner. So now I have my words. I'm going to make them a little bit bigger so that you can see what we're doing here. So I already welded it, so I don't guess it matters, but because I can't make it bigger. Make it a little bit bigger. Okay. Now we're going to add an offset. This is the offset button, the little star deal. Oh, whoops. I have to select it. Then I tell it I want to offset it. And the offset's a little big. I usually go to like a point, whoops, 0.07. It's probably about good. And apply. So I've got my offset around the words. That's what you want when you're printing a water slide on white water slide paper. It's going to cut bigger than your letters, and that will be white, or whatever color you choose to print it on. But on a white water slide it'll be white. On a clear water slide you just have clear. That's a little bit bigger than your letters. So once it's all set, the offset's there. You're going to go to File and print it, just like you would print from any other program. On your water slide, make sure your water slide is face up. Also, if I'm using a white water slide, it's easier if you're using a laser jet to reverse it, and then you don't have to, then you just put the water slide face down, slide the backing off, and it is a lot easier to work with. So if you go here and mirror it, oops, it only selected that, hang on a sec. I'm going to select it all, and then flip it, mirror it, horizontally, ta-da, okay. This look chosen. Okay, then we're going to go into your paper size. Make sure it's right for your water slide. Then we're going to go over here to registration marks, turn them on. Now it's going to show these marks here. You want to make sure your words or whatever you're doing is inside the red lines and inside these marks. These marks are what will tell your Silhouette where to cut, and so it'll line everything up. These will print on your water slide paper also. So you do use a little bit of extra paper. If you are printing and cutting on the Silhouette, the nice thing is that it can cut a lot finer than you can with your scissors. Makes it a little more handy. I prefer to do it this way. So the registration marks are there, so we're good. Print this whole thing out with the registration marks, and then you're going to stick it on a mat, You'll go to send, line it up on the mat just like you normally would. The machine will read these black lines and know where to cut. Go over here to send, and you're going to come in at this screen, but if you look, this will cut everything. And I usually go to fill, and I tell it not to cut all the red. I tell it only to cut the no color, so it just cuts around the outside edge. That's a good thing. I set the material for usually, I don't have a water slide one, but I set it for excuse me, cardstock usually is a good thickness. You can add a material type, but I don't know how thick the water slides are. I guess it depends on what paper you're using. I usually set my speed fairly low, between 1 and 5, especially if I have really intricate cuts. And turn my force up a little bit, even though I'm using an auto blade. And then I hit send, and it's going to cut them out. Then you're going to be all set. And that is how to get it to cut an offset on a water slide.